Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to the channel today. Just thought I'd show you three quirky features on this 2024 model Honda Gb350. Now first off, we'll start with the fuel tank. Fuel tank comes in at 15 litres. Now some of the guys in India have found that they can get 17 litres in that tank. That's a bit strange. In most cases what they class what's in the tank is exactly what you get. So here's the secret if you want to score that extra couple of litres in your tank, which I've tried. So first off, it's best that you have your bike off the centre stand and either on your side stand and so on. So I'll just do this one-handed, so it's a little bit difficult here, but we'll show you. So if you look at it now, we look into this tank, you'll see the gas is virtually still up to where you'd normally fill it like it is now. So, you know, that'd be normally where you would stop and not go any further. But the thing is, if you get here now and shake the bike sideways, like so, you can get in an extra 1.5 litres of petrol from that point there just by adding it slowly. So, mightn't sound much, but that'd get you an extra 50 kilometres if you're going on a longer ride somewhere. Now, I've actually tried this and I've had a bottle here where I put in 1.5 litres from where it is now. And you know, it gives you an idea. You can get 17 litres in this tank by the looks of it compared to where they listed as 15. But that's where you'd normally pull up and stop there and you think, oh well, it's full now. But what happens, you get out along the road and you've ridden it around about 40-50 kilometres and one of the bars on the fuel gauge drop, and that you know, throws that one off. But just hard to believe when you're at that point there now, you can still get 1.5 litres into it. Might as well put it to the test. Here's a full 1 litre fuel cell. So I'll get on this bike here. Bit difficult, but so once again, like I said, we've got that petrol splashing around up there where you'd normally stop. So we'll try a bit of a spill there, which wasn't good, but it's a one-handed job, doesn't matter much. So this is 1 litre that we're going to plug in it. Minus a little bit of drop, but if you look at it now, there's 1 litre of petrol still in it and the level's still the same. So there you go. So it would take 2 litres. Good. Now I've cleaned the tank, see, nice and dry. So number 2 feature, which I think is a bit quirky, is this. From a cold start with this bike, you know, if you get here and like a normal, any of the other bikes here, if you get them here and let them idle for say 2 minutes, then get on the bike and then go for a run, you get no dramas. But for some reason with this Honda Gb350, it's in a mind of its own. So for example, when I go out the driveway here, turn right or left and go down to the first give way or stop sign, what you do find that it's like it's in a automatic mode and it just wants to keep going ahead, powering its way ahead. And sometimes when you go for the brakes, it's still like it's built up in the revs and wants to keep going at the pace what you're going at, and you have to use the anchors a little bit harder to slow it down. Now, what I think it is to do is just something to do with the fueling they've put on these bikes, and by the time I get up like another, say, half a kilometre up the road or anywhere I'm going to stop after that, it's got over its tantrum there and everything's nice and calm there and it's easy to ride. But when you take off, it's always good to be aware the first couple of corners you go to and pull up or stop or give way or anything like that, it's more liable to want to keep going ahead whether you've got your hand on the throttle or not. So if you back off the throttle, first thing it'll get you by surprise is it'll want to keep going forward. So that's the second quirky thing that happened on this bike since I've owned it, and I've ridden it now roughly about 500 kilometres. Okay, number 3, and we'll get to it now, I'll need the key for this bike here. This would be the most stupidest setup I've ever seen on any bike I've owned. So say for example, I wanted to get under the seat, or if I want to get into this side casing here. To do it, I've got the key, and this is good. I come down here, unlock it. Once again, I better be careful. So we unlock it, and we'll find right at the bottom of the battery here, see this here, there's a 5mm Allen key. Now, you wonder what the 5mm Allen key is for? Okay, if I want to remove the seat, I come here. That's what's holding in place, a 5mm Allen key. After I undo that one, I can lift the seat. But remember, I've got to go to the case first. Over this side here, once again, 5mm Allen key to remove this case. Now, you know, you must admit that would be one of the stupidest ideas I've ever seen. Now, why they couldn't have put a either a double key, like what they would do, for example, on some of the other bikes, other Hondas or Enfields or anything like that. Double key, one each side for the casing. And also now on the seat, they did a sort of a quick release area where you could just sort of go in from the side casing on the left hand side and just pull a release. Now that would have been a better idea, and take into account these are around $8,000 right away, so it's not as if you're buying them for free. So, and these are the Jap bike, so the Japanese bike, you know, you would have thought they might have put in a few extra goodies on it just to compensate for the price, the extra price they're charging compared to the Indian 350 Highness. So, you know, there's three quirky things I've tried with this bike, but apart from that, it's, you know, fine by that way. So they're just something I thought I might show you. I've shown you positive, negatives, what I like about it, three quirky ones, and hopefully you found that interesting, and I'll catch up with you on the next clip.